Okay, before we begin measuring your truss side view, we first need to understand how to fill out the list of material calculations. And above the list of material calculations, we have our technical report. The technical report tells you the size requirement for your bridge and the total amount of wood that you'll be given to build all 4 views. Now the list of material calculations down below here, when you record your measurements, what we're going to do with our rule is we're going to start with the column on the far left and we're going to work our way to the right. So if I break down these columns here, we have line type. This tells us what type of line are you measuring. Is it a vertical line, a horizontal line, or a diagonal line? Then we take the type of line and we put down on the next column the number of equal lines. As you can see on this design, for example, these green vertical supports we have all of these supports are the same length. As we do our measuring, we will not need to measure every single line. That's how easy this sheet is to record, for example, the number of equal lines, and we're going to take that times the length of each line, gives us our total length. And as you notice with your measuring, please convert all fractions to decimals, and that will make your addition a lot easier to calculate at the final project. So we start out with vertical lines, okay? With the vertical lines, we're going to take a look at the design here, and we'll start with these green supports as I noted. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green lines, 5 vertical supports, all the same length. So on my list of materials sheet here, I start with vertical lines, number of equal lines, I put a 5 down, times the length of each line. So out of those 5 lines, all I have to do is measure 1, and this one line right here was 3.5 inches long, and so I converted that to a decimal, and I have 3.5 inches for each line. I multiply the number of equal lines times the length of each line, gives me my total length. So 5 times 3.5 equals 17.5 inches. It takes 17.5 inches of wood to build these 5 supports. As we take a look at the sheet again, I continue to see that do I have any more vertical lines in my design? At this point the answer is no. So then I go down to my next type of line, horizontals. So we'll start by looking at horizontal lines. I have this horizontal line here, and as you notice there are no other lines the same length. And I have the base down here, and again as you notice there are no other lines the same length. So we'll start with this one right at the top here, the top edge of your side view. And under number of equal lines, a horizontal line, I have 1 horizontal line times the length of that line is 8.5 inches when I measured it. 1 times 8.5 equals 8.5 inches of wood for that one top support. And I also have 1 at the bottom here, and that's where I get this one from. 1 times 12.5, that's the length of your base, equals 12.5 inches for the base of the project. As you can see, I have no more horizontal lines on my design. Then I can go to diagonal lines. Now with my diagonal lines, I have on my ends here, this blue line here, and this blue line over here. Both of these are the same length. So back on my list of materials, across from diagonal, I have 2 equal lines times the length of each line was 4 inches. 2 times 4 is 8. And I now have my design measured. All I have left to do is to get a total. So what I do is I add up 17.5 plus 8.5 plus 12.5 plus 8. When I add those numbers together, I get a total for one side view. We just measured one side view. Now we take that total and we're going to multiply it by 2 to get our total for our both sides. So one side view is measured times 2, 2 side views are built. Please refer to your grading sheet to see the accuracy and how you will be graded on how accurate your measurement turns out.